I'm pissed. And I got receipts. So this is where what I mean when I feel like I am sometimes directly targeted by the natural hair community, but at the same time, I don't have that many supporters. Now she's using the same words, saying the same thing, and this is why I don't really like the natural hair community. Okay, so today I'm going to be responding to the channel.
Ain't got no lies.
Heal with Mirror. Right now, there's 490 views.
They be stalking me and they do this every night because they ain't got no life.
Okay. The title is TikTokers Share the Problem Black Women Have with the Natural Hair Community. But let's go ahead and go through it and talk about a few points that I want to talk about. So the first female is a female who has a afro puff and some clear glasses on, and she's talking about how she hates the natural hair community movement. She wants to talk about how, oh, but I love natural hair, and you know how I'm such a supporter of the natural hair community. I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate. And the reason why this really bothered me is because I'm a small channel right now for my hair channel, and I just uploaded. Like I always say, I feel like a lot of people are watching me that this is a direct target toward me because I just do a video, and I specifically put in my video, advocate for natural hair. Now, most people don't really talk like that, but because of my background and certain systems that I have been a part of, I chose the word advocate. So I literally put on the thumbnail, advocate for natural hair. And so now she's ranting on about how, oh, I'm an advocate for natural hair. Then she goes on to say that I really appreciate, which is funny because I just used that word in my description as well. I said that I would appreciate your support, which is not something I usually say. So this is where what I mean when I feel like I am sometimes directly targeted by the natural hair community, but at the same time, I don't have that many supporters. Now you can go look at my video that I posted. I just posted it within this time frame, whatever this is, before this video, clearly. Now she's using the same words, saying the same thing. And this is why I don't really like the natural hair community. So I guess we're going to have our little session about why we don't like the natural hair community. This is part of my reason why I feel like there are Black women who are targeting other Black women in the natural hair community and don't want them to be appreciated for their work, because most of the time you have to sit around and fester in the negative vibes that people are bringing towards your way instead of just enjoying life and experiencing the journey. So she goes on to say that I'm really happy that women, some of us are finally starting to support the natural hair, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, hold on. First of all, I'm not sure how old you are, but I am probably sure that I am older than you. And I am not just now supporting the natural hair community. The reason why you have that puff on your head is because that we've been supporting the natural hair community. And I went to a school, which was in high school a long time ago, and there's probably 100 plus something African-American females, and maybe 3, 4, 5 of them actually are wearing their natural hair. So wearing an afro at that time and wearing your natural hair was actually being a part of the natural hair movement. I'm someone who really was inspired by Erykah Badu, India Arie, Lauryn Hill. These people who come from other places like Nicki Minaj and Rihanna, they don't even name these people until people like me from America name these people and are influenced by these people. You need to really understand where people's inspiration and motivation are coming from. It's not just coming out of thin air. It's collectively coming from a couple of different things. And for you to say that we're just now becoming a part of the natural hair community, you need to be aware of who you're talking to and what you're talking about. And maybe you need to kind of specify that, right? Because you're going to offend some people who have been a part of this for a long time. I was there. I was one of those people. I was there when it was just forums where people were typing and taking small pictures. I was on YouTube when there was like naturality.com. I was on YouTube when there was only 3 pages of yet. There was only 3 pages of natural hair content, okay? I never really wanted to start a channel because I was aware of the possible bullying that could happen at a very young age. And so that's one reason why I held back. I've been on YouTube for a very, very long time, even though I'm a small channel person and all this information wasn't out there. I've cut my hair probably down to a fade 2 or 3 times and started over for reasons that I actually didn't really have to start over, but because I was learning and experiencing on my own. Those are the type of things that are the result of not having tons and tons of natural hair pages like we do now. So I think that you just need to, kind of stay in your lane. I think that it's also interesting that all of a sudden it's so important that you hate it because there has to be a move for it. And I find it kind of offensive that when I am on here saying that I'm advocating for natural hair, that you're hating that there's a movement for it. Why would you hate that there's a movement for it if you're such a natural hair advocate? What would you care? What is it hurting that there's a movement for it, that there's people who are constantly pushing and promoting? What is the problem with emphasizing the way you were naturally born? All of a sudden, it's a problem when I upload a video advocating for it. Why is it a problem now all of a sudden? Because we wake up that way. Well, why are there makeup commercials advocating for things that y'all continuously been doing, which is wearing makeup? Why are there commercials about washing your hair and looking beautiful and doing this, something that you wake up to do every day? It doesn't matter. So if they're promoting those things, why are you trying to tell certain African-American women that we shouldn't need to promote natural beauty? Beauty is something that's going to be promoted forever. whether it's natural, fake, phony, surgical, whatever it is. And then you can never take away the leadership from people who are true leaders. If those people were advocating when they were young, if those people were pushing those movements when they were young, if those people were the ones saying, "Oh, look at that Erykah Badu afro. Oh, look at those Bantu knots on Lauryn Hill. Oh, look at that afro on Jill Scott." Oh, you're never going to stop those people who were young people at that time doing that, which was pretty rare at that time, when they get older and telling them not to push the movement. These are leaders of the movement. These are people who helped inspire it. These are the people who brought it out. These are people who shined a light on it. You're not going to stop that. And I think that it's quite ridiculous to be a younger person and not really understanding what you're doing. To me, you saying that we shouldn't be pushing something, and then it's funny because people always talk about other things that people are doing. Oh, they're over sexualizing women. They're always pushing the beauty standard and making it unreachable. But then when a black female pushes for natural beauty and talks about it, all of a sudden it's irritating because it's a movement and it shouldn't be a movement. We shouldn't talk about it. So it's like you need to make up your mind. Like Justin Bieber said, like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean? One minute it's this, the next minute it's that, and it's like you can't pick what you want. You can't make up your mind. It's funny. I hate how women have to commercialize and make natural hair a movement. Are you upset that the woman is on the commercial? That's what's happening all the time, is that it's being commercialized. So what's the real problem here? I mean, are we like battling each other with insecurities and you're not allowing people to be their self? Is this really like I'm competing and hating against certain natural hair people that are doing natural hair care movements, or, making things that look like semi-commercials, and now I want to go and target them? Is that what this is? Because I don't know just how natural you are. To be honest, I'm not trying to be rude, but you almost look like AI. I don't know if this is a real person or not, but I don't know if there's filters on. I don't use filters in that post that I made, and also in the last video that I made, I didn't have any makeup on, so I don't understand why you would advocate for natural this and natural that and always have filters on in the first place. Not sure if this person does or doesn't, but I noticed when I looked, it looked a little overly computerized. So I don't know, but and then it's like a lot of these younger people, they like to sound really, really smart, and a lot of times to me, it's like you look back at stuff when you were younger and you thought you sounded smart, and really you kind of like grow up and then you're like, you know what, that kind of didn't make sense. I feel like this is like one of those situations where this person is just like trying to be very smart sounding, trying to be, just anything to go against the grain and create content, which isn't always the best idea.
Oh, hell no.